Your Facebook, my WhatsApp, my email, my Twitter, your BBIB. We use school 3 years ago. We are online, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, every social media. We are more social media, and then every day we are more crying as a ministry. It's me and Uncle so many tired. Browsing, browsing, download, said it is about one mistake as a crown of the other. No, okay, come in. I always use internet to I browse and I always go to WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitter.
With pathological internet use, it's even for psychiatrists, it's quite hard to define because it's a newly emerging disorder. So pathological internet use can also be called internet addiction disorder, or it can be called problematic internet use. Right now, psychiatrists are still trying to figure out the best way to fully encapture what sort of disorder it is. Because it's not just being addicted to the internet, there's so many subsets. In China, in South Korea, people have a problem with gaming. There are some people who have a problem with cyber sex. People have a problem with cyber romance. There's so many different aspects to pathological internet use that it is quite hard to define. But in 1998, Young made a questionnaire which was able to fully scale out whether somebody could be identified as addicted to the internet based on the criteria there, based on the scale that they had. And I chose my project, which is titled The Relationship Between Pathological Internet Use and Depression. I chose this because I'm very passionate about mental health and depression especially, and seeing as we're becoming more technologically advanced as the years go by, I thought it'd be interesting to kind of delve into a different kind of addiction where it's not substance but more, how do you say, like an internet heroin. Exactly. So the people who answered the survey were from about 18 to 45 years old. The mean age was around 25, which was expected. And it seemed about 22.3% of the people who answered the survey were admitted to be depressed based on the scale that was given. And using the internet addiction scale, it looked like 3.7% of them actually had an internet addiction disorder, and 40.7 of them, percent of them had problematic, means that they could tip towards the scale of having an internet addiction disorder if measures were not put in place. So to conclude, it's still a newly emerging disorder, and even psychiatrists still debate on whether to actually call it an addiction disorder or it's just not. So to me, the first thing we have to do, especially in Africa, is to educate ourselves that addiction is real. Like, there are so many people with addictive personalities, and because internet addiction disorder usually comes with a lot of comorbidities like depression, anxiety, people with ADHD, attention hyperactive disorder. It's good to educate people that yes, if you are more likely to be addicted to things, if you know yourself to be an addictive sort of person, you might want to watch out for these things. And you'd also want to educate people, especially the government, on how to basically guide psychiatrists and psychologists on ways they can educate themselves on how to deal with people who come to them with stuff like that. And if they're treating people with such comorbidities like depression and stuff, they should take the time to check and see if maybe they could have internet addiction disorder, because it is really detrimental to people's lives. And around the world, it's been noted that there are people who go to the extreme that they don't eat, they don't sleep, they are addicted, they cannot get away. It is termed internet heroin. You cannot physically remove yourself from it. And being technology and it being integrated into our lives more and more as the years go by, it is something people should take note of and be very wary of, especially for the younger generation.